What's going on, everybody? It's 3 o'clock. I know it's a little different than our 1 o'clock start time, but we got a special guest this week, so I'm pretty pumped. So, guys, welcome to the Durso Dispatch. This is the 8th episode. I've been on here for 2 months now, which seems pretty wild. So, thanks for joining in. I actually really love doing this, and it's been fun. So, thanks for bearing with me. So, again, it's the 8th episode. This is proudly presented to you by the Kelly Brush Foundation. I am Greg Durso, your host and the program director at the KBF. If you missed any of the episodes, you can please log on to our Facebook page, and also you can go back to our Instagram page. I think the last 3 episodes are now on there. It'll be on IGTV, so you guys can go all check it out. So it's pretty cool, so I hope you should go do that for your viewing pleasure. As you may know, each week I'll be on here with a guest. We get to meet our new grant recipients and people in the dive sports world, talk about the current scope of their life, what they're doing, the cool things they're doing now, but honestly, most importantly, I'm here to introduce them to you as a resource for the future and down the road. So this week, I have who I consider the mayor of LA. He's a grant recipient from 2014 who has since jumped at every chance to help the KBF with such enthusiasm. He works with the Tryon Foundation to help people with new spinal cord injuries, as well as spinal cord injury community itself in LA and SoCal. He's just an awesome advocate for the KBF and our mission. Every time Zeke talks about him, he blushes, which is pretty funny in that essence. And so without further ado, let's see if I can get Damon Whittaker on here. Let's bring him on. Boom. It's connected. Here we go. Waiting. Yes.
Hey.
Look at you. Looking so fresh. I love it.
Bruh, I had to at least clean up. I'm looking like a caveman over here.
Oh, please. You know you're so handsome. Don't lie to me.
Hey, how's everybody doing today?
Good. How are you, man? Welcome to the show. How does it feel to be on the Durso Dispatch?
Oh, man. I mean, hey, this is my first live. So,
Is it?
yeah, this is an experience.
Well, I'm excited. Damon, how come every time I see you or just talk to you, I just start smiling, just honestly in general. Like you're pretty infectious. It's pretty funny.
I try. I mean, bruh, it's smiles can be contagious. I mean, smiles are something you can actually hear over a phone when you speak with someone. So, the more you smile, the more someone else will actually just be open up and willing to I guess just receive you and your message, whatever that you come across.
It's totally true. And I love it, actually. So I met you back in February in LA, right? That's when it was, the LA Billy
Yes. You flew in kind of late, but everything was great.
It was, I got in there, it was like a whirlwind when I got in there. But it was pretty funny. So before I came out there, Zeke and I were kind of game planning my trip to LA and the expo. And I guess he's like, you got to meet Damon. We got to talk to him before we get out there. He works for the Tryon Foundation. It'll be great. So I remember getting in touch with you and getting in touch with the Tryon Foundation and letting you guys know I was going to be out there and what we could do. And you were just so receptive to come in. And I know we've kind of broached paths in the past, honestly, just talking back and forth. But it was so fun to go and meet you there. And honestly, you took me all over the expo. You knew everybody. You introduced me to all these amazing people, which was just amazing for what I was supposed to be doing there, which was awesome in and of itself. I mean, everyone knew you, and I think the coolest part of it all was the fact that watching the respect everybody had for you, and it was, I know it was hard to put into words. It was pretty cool. Everyone just respected you so much, and it was really cool to see that. And that was one of the biggest things I took out of the whole experience, because it was just really awesome to be able to see that from you.
Man, I greatly appreciate it. With the expo, or the LA, well, the Abilities Expo that's in LA. I mean, from when I first heard about it and have been going, it gets bigger and bigger every year. And with you coming out, it was just everything just fell into place. It was perfect because there's so many different programs and different nonprofits that are just up and down California. That way it makes, when they all end up being at the expo, it just makes it a lot easier for you to reach out and you can speak with the representative from each one.
That's awesome. And I think it was cool too because we went down every aisle. And you must have introduced me to I don't know, what would you say, like 15, I don't know, 15 different organizations, about like 30 different people. I mean, it was pretty unbelievable. And I've
I
been to a few of those expos, and LA was by far the biggest. It was pretty wild, just in that essence.
right. I wanted you because of you and Kelly Brush Foundation, and because of what you guys do in reference to the grants. I wanted to make sure that everyone at least and you also had a face to put with the nonprofit. So then that way, everything that anytime that someone has a question, hey, Greg, I remember him from the expo. Great. Zeke, Kelly, we know that they're busy, but if you're available, bam, you can go ahead and make that contact, and everyone ends up getting what they need. That's
Yeah,
the
it's
main
perfect,
thing.
and
That's the
that's
main
my
thing.
job too. So it's awesome. So thank you for making my job easier, Damon. I appreciate it. It's awesome.
That's what I do. I just connect. I just connect people. Hey, what's your problem? Okay, we got to fix over here. Let's go to that guy.
This is perfect. I'm just going to type out your phone number to everybody, and everyone's just going to call you. It's going to be
Please don't.
perfect.
Please don't.
Exactly. So let's take a step back here real quick. I want to just kind of talk to you about. Actually, I don't even know this anyway. So I'd love to talk to you kind of a little about your story, about your injury, how you got hurt, how you got involved in adaptive sports and the Triumph Foundation a little bit.
Okay. Well, I actually got injured in 1992, October of '92. Um, it was by a not a drunk driver, but someone who was speeding. I got rear-ended. It was my uncle and I. We were going to go grab something to eat. I was a passenger.
Oh,
Right while we were about to turn into the driveway to go through the drive-through, we ended up getting rear-ended, and unfortunately, um, I unclicked my seatbelt right when we were about to turn in. So everything, I don't know how these stars and the moon aligned up to where as after I unclicked it, I hear tires screeching, and then all of a sudden, bam, there's an impact. I hit the dashboard, and mind you, this is in one of those old VW Volkswagen Beetles.
that's
So
what you were in?
yeah, so you already know it's already a can. So we got kind of crushed.
Ugh.
Yeah. And that back then in '92, you didn't have the seat belts and that thing that retracted or anything like that to give a little bit. So I just went straight head first, hit the dashboard. So it was more like a whiplash action that created the separation of my C7. My C7 vertebrae. So it kind of went up and over. So you can say that it's pinched.
Right.
Um, I'm fortunate enough to where I don't have metal. The doctors just threw me in a halo, and I ended up being at Rancho for first 3 months in the halo, then an additional 3 months because of a bed sore, and a lot of us go through that when we're
Yeah.
first in the hospital. For that to heal, then finally start having physical therapy and things to get back to normal life. That happened October. I think I was back out, finally got home, maybe around April.
How old were you?
At that time I was 14.
Wow.
Um,
Oh, you were that young?
yeah,
Wow, I didn't know
I was
that.
four, I was 14. So October, my birthday is in November. I spent birthday in the hospital, the
Ugh.
holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, everything, even Valentine's Day and everything back then. Yeah, all the way through.
Wow.
So this COVID-19 being cooped up inside a house is nothing.
Yeah, right. No, I feel like people with disabilities are just crushing COVID right now. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say we're
A
crushing
little,
people.
a
They're in
little bit.
different
Yeah.
situations, but I
a
guess
little bit.
we've been there a little bit. We understand what it does. So
Right, right.
I understand. So what was your journey from there? Did you get like into adaptive
Well,
sports? Like how did you kind of get into like the whole wheelchair community?
you know what?
You were living in Englewood at the time. Like this was going on.
Yes, yes. I'm in Inglewood. At that time, there, I guess you can say there's because of my age, I ended up being around and on the pediatrics level. I'm sorry, on the peds uh, section of the
Mhm.
hospital. So I wasn't around a lot of the older kids and or older adults because of my age. So because of that, there was just that disconnect. Um, so I ended up just saying, "Hey, okay, what is this?" I didn't have any mentors or anything like that around. It is just, all right, this is life. This is what I'm gonna have to do. How am I gonna figure this out? I ended up just my main focus was then, all right, I need to get back in school because I wanted to graduate on time. I mean, I spent almost the whole freaking year, my ninth grade year, in the hospital.
Yeah.
So then I'm behind a year, and so I my first thing was bust your ass to go ahead and catch up so you can graduate on time. Mind you, I got held back in the fifth grade, so I didn't want to have this repeat, and that was my fault. This
So
wasn't my fault.
no, that definitely wasn't. It was the bug's fault. It was the
Oh
car's
yeah.
fault.
So with that, it was go back to school, get and with going back to school, I can say that my high school open. I didn't have that folks being bullied or anything like that, but um, I pretty much I did pretty well in high school. I can say, hey, I graduated on time. I ran for homecoming king, got that.
Did
Um,
you win?
oh yeah.
Did you sit in the car? What happened? Tell me about the parade.
Well, the parade. Yeah, I sat in the car. It was what was it was a Honda Soul. It was like those. It was like a two-seater.
Well, more importantly, how was the homecoming queen?
Oh, she was lovely. She was beautiful. But it was all about the king that time.
Of course. I mean, you're way
Um,
more important. I apologize. Let's focus here.
Now with that, after all that, my main focus while I was in high school was to show everyone while I'm in high school, I'm the same. I'm still Damon. I can do everything that everyone else does in society, but I have to do it differently. So that I can say I have made some real cool friends from high school that with Facebook and everything, you still can able to keep in contact with them
That's
and the
awesome
whole
to
thing.
hear. So, do you think being yourself was like one of the main factors that help you like get through high school and get to where you are today? Because I know for myself, like people ask that question, like, "What did you do?" It's such a strange question to ask, and I really don't know. I say I was myself. All I knew how to do was to be myself. Is that
Right.
something you felt? Like, is that something that you can relate to?
Yes. You being yourself is the best thing. That way, people who remember how you were before,
Hmm.
they're not looking at you as a, oh, that's the, how we might see somebody, oh, that's that grumpy guy in a wheelchair. No,
Yeah.
it was more or less, I'm not trying to, toot my own horn, but a lot of times it was, oh, that's the cutie in the wheelchair. Hey. So I use that to my advantage too now.
I'm glad you did. No, I mean, Damon, I totally agree. I think that's how. I mean, it's the same way for me. I think from that standpoint, it was just like exactly be yourself, show the people, your support group, people around you, like, I haven't changed. I'm still the same person. I just do things a little differently and go
Right.
from there. So that's awesome insight to hear that too. So how did you get into adaptive sports and with the Triumph Foundation? How did you lead into that role?
Now, in high school, I wish I had, we have PE. You know what I did for PE? I pushed around the track.
Is
That
that what you
that's
did?
that's all I did. I pushed around the track maybe two times, and four times around the track is a mile. But I'm just pushing, and I'm not doing anything. But um, I did have one teacher that came, and she mentioned some things to me about um, quad rugby. She also mentioned basketball, but I wasn't a
Mm.
basketball person. In high school, I played football my freshman year, so I was a football guy. But now, when they mentioned quad rugby, I was like, okay, that's something like too. Now, I didn't know, and there wasn't all these resources that are out there now. I didn't know
Right.
that there was um, uh,
Oh, I think we're losing him for a second here.
just normal. All right, we got a Teddy Roddy situation going on. You got
Yeah, I'm sorry. We're just losing there for a second. I think we're back.
okay, okay.
Cool.
Um, my fault. Sorry. I live by LAX. When the airplanes come by, sometimes they take my Wi-Fi. I
Is that what
apologize.
happened? Did they really? They steal it from you? That's not fair.
Yeah, it'll steal that signal, especially if they're low enough.
That's too funny. Sorry. Go on. I apologize there for that.
So,
Yeah.
oh no. So in high school, I didn't know that I could have had a scholarship if I really pushed it to sports like basketball or rugby to go to school elsewhere because there was
Mm.
that disconnect that those resources weren't there and given to me. A lot of times there were pretty much no resources. I got a book when I left the hospital that had maybe 12 pages of resources on there. Now with the Triumph Foundation, there's almost like a Bible. I mean, we have a book that's a whole bunch of pages, over 50 pages worth of resources and tips and things that helps the individuals. But with high school, I got through all that. Then I ended up going to college. I went to Cal State Northridge, and that's when I actually saw more individuals in wheelchairs um, with a disability. Now, it wasn't too many people doing sports, but they were having an active life. And speaking with them, they mentioned it. They mentioned skiing and all that. But let's be honest. I'm
We
in
know you love
LA.
skiing, David.
Not too many black people ski. Not too many black people. That was my excuse. I was like, dude, I broke my
That was
neck.
your
What am
excuse?
I gonna do? I broke my neck. I'm not trying to slide
Why
down
didn't
a
you, why didn't you
mountain
just hide
of
behind the
ice.
fact you broke your neck? That's amazing.
Oh, so I'm like, look, black people don't ski. But what's crazy now is I love it. Up there every year. Love it.
That's good. Well, we got to go skiing together for sure. They get another plane flying over your house right now, stealing your Wi-Fi. You guys got a really good face popping up here. And in the first second, I was going to give a shout out to Sam Barrington for
I'm
that funny
totally
comment he
down.
posted below. So tell the audience a little bit about the Triumph Foundation, what they do, and what you do for them.
Okay. Well, with Triumph Foundation, what we do is we provide mentoring and resources for newly injured spinal cord injured patients. We also run support groups at different hospitals. We, of course, everyone knows how it is that in the hospital and in the bed, and you're like, what am I going to do now? Well, you have a million questions that run through your head, and you know that the doctors are telling you this and doctors are telling you that. Don't get me wrong, we all love our doctors, but when you have someone that rolls in and can really just tell you the truth and live the life, you look at things totally different than that individual that's saying, hey, they're standing and they're telling you you can't walk again. You'll never be able to do this. You won't be able to do that. Well, I come in and other ambassadors with Triumph, we come in and we show you that you can live life. You can go do this. You can do that. You just have to do it differently. And of course, if you regain any sensation or regain any function to where you can walk again, we don't want you to be in a wheelchair with us, because then you're taking
Right.
up our parking spots. Everyone wants a handicap parking spot.
Special privileges.
Right. So, of course, founder Andrew Skinner, he created it. I actually found Triumph Foundation in a magazine. It was a paper. It was, I called the Disabled Dealer or something like that. It was like a class A paper that just had all um, products and things that for sale,
Mm-hmm.
different cars that people were selling. That was
And it's airplanes. LAX just keep crushing you.
where he kind of just looked it up online and wanted to be part of that. Um, that are out here in California, and it is kind of competing for the funds within the same pot of money.
Right.
It's kind of hard. So why would I want to go ahead and try to create my foundation, and which is doing the same thing that this one is doing? Why not just go ahead and be an ambassador, be part of that, and help um, push that foundation and make sure that it succeeds and it does the best that it can, so then everyone actually succeeds.
That's awesome. Well, shout out to Andrew for starting the Triumph Foundation. He's awesome. So, obviously, Damon introduced me to him when I was out in LA. So, he's great, and everything you guys do is actually it's really amazing. And we're so happy that you guys are out there doing that, because I know how helpful it is. And obviously, not having that at all, right? Like now you're doing that. I mean, did you picture yourself like doing this? Like, can you believe like where you are today? Like, or you look back on like what you didn't have, and you're like, wow, like I'm so happy I'm able to do this for somebody else now.
Yes. I'm actually, you know how when you go and you finally just open your eyes and give things a try, and then you end up liking it, you're upset with yourself. It's like, why didn't I try this and do this a long time ago? And then you look how much time that I wasted. I could have been doing this, I could have been doing that. That's how I was at first. But now you say I'm the mayor of LA. I've just The thing is, I've just been around and rolling around 28 years. So I've been rolling longer than some of these people who I introduced you to have been alive, really.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've met them, saw them, and hey, we all want the best for everyone, and we want people, and we want to change society and their outlook on how individuals with disabilities are. We're not just sitting in a chair in a corner. We're actually
Sure.
doing things.
I mean, how many people have you referred to KBF? I mean, four, five,
Ooh,
10, 20? I mean, like a million, all of Southern California that's in a
bro,
wheelchair?
every time that it comes open, I'm pushing somebody. I know one, two, three, maybe about four, five grantees. But I push it. I push it. I push it. I push it. I've told so many individuals to go ahead and just apply. Let's take in consideration a grantee, Richard, from Walking
Yeah,
Rich.
love
I
that
told
guy.
him maybe I told him maybe about 2 years in a row, dude, apply, dude, apply. Then he finally applies, and what happens? Thank you. He's
Now
actually
he's trying to get a
he's
little
a-
bike group going. You gonna join his
right
bike group?
now.
I saw he's putting that out there.
Yeah, he got the carbon fiber, so I mean, I gotta bulk up and I gotta keep up with him. I like my aluminum. I like I like rolling on the beach bike path and going a nice steady. He wants to go fast. I'm a little too old for that right now.
Oh, please. I'm gonna come out and join you guys. We're gonna do a little cruise around town on our bikes. It'd be sweet.
Bruh. Now, anytime you come out to LA, we got you. Whatever you want to do.
I love hearing
If it's
this.
the right time of the year, we can one day we can go up at Big Bear, and then the next day we can do the bike path. Then the next day we can go hiking. It's California. It's Southern California. All you at the end.
In.
Get
I'm
ready for
into
the
that too.
next day. Right.
Exactly.
Get you some
So
In and
this
Out
is
too.
where
We can get you some.
oh, I forgot about In-N-Out Burger. So good. Oh, man, we gotta go. Just it's not going to Volkswagen Beetle when we go there though. Let's stay away from
Got you.
that.
Okay.
Good. So this is usually where I ask you about what's kind of going on in your life and your present day stuff. But I know this last week has been pretty intense all over the country, obviously, especially in LA, with the COVID and the protests going on. So I know me and you had a little conversation the other day, but I honestly love to listen, hear more about your experience and your thoughts on kind of what's been going on.
Um. Well, you know what, man? It's like I kind of mentioned to you. This is not my first show of something like this that has happened in reference to rioting and police brutality and everything. Even with me being in a chair, um, I have had my own different experience. I wasn't beat up or anything like that, but I was made to get out the car and go ahead, put my chair together and all that. And this is while I was in college. That was, I mean, that was just a reality check on there right there. I mean, yeah. People can say, oh, well, with the wheelchair, they're not going to do this. They don't care. Wheelchair, they don't care. I do have family members who are police officers.
Mm-hmm.
Oops, I'm sorry. I think the airplane that just came
It's just stealing your Wi-Fi.
back. Do have family members who are police officers, and of course, I know that that's their job. That's someone that decided to take that job, that occupation, and I hope, because I'm not there with them, I hope that they're actually not those bad seeds that are on the police force. I was around and I saw the 92 riots. I saw how the looting and the rioting messed up the neighborhood and the community, and how long it took for it to come back. Um, this time, things have been a little bit different. This time, we do see a lot more different shades of color and different other participants coming and helping out, and that's what we need right now. We need people to have understanding and are willing to go ahead and sit and listen to what we're saying, not try to go and say, hey, what about us and what about that? Well, right now the focus is not on you. The focus is on us, and of course everyone is saying the black lives, they do matter. We all know everyone lives matter, but right now it's ours because we've been going through this for over 400 years. We've been saying this. We've been trying to tell society, hey, this is what's going on. People and family members, black, brown, even white, that we can go and Google someone who has been beat up by the police. Yes, we know not all police are bad, but of course, not all people are bad. But when we start to generalize things, it makes it hard for individuals to go ahead and listen and from person's perspective. That's all we want right now. Of course, the situation with George, uh, forgot his name, um,
Lloyd.
Floyd or Lloyd. Yeah, we all saw that, and it was to see literally someone die live on camera, and then it's being shown over and over and over again. it just sucks to where they keep showing it over and it keeps happening over and over that a certain race, we end up just saying, well, here we go again. So then we're tired of it. So then there's an uprising. Now with this uprising,
Mhm.
there's some, put it blankly out there, just put it bluntly, there's some knuckleheads that are in there that want to go ahead and try to mess that up by doing all this extra looting and rioting. And if we go back and we just look at history, we can actually see that this we haven't learned. Things keep happening over and over again. So it seems like it's just a rerun. And you get tired of looking at reruns. You want to see something new. You want to see a change. You want to see something fresh. And right now, it is seeming as if there will be some type of change. We can only pray. We can only hope so much. But action speaks better than words. Period.
Sure. I really appreciate you sharing that. It's like, your honesty with that's awesome, Damon. So thank you so much for sharing, for sure. I mean, have you felt, I mean, obviously as like a person of color and then obviously being in a wheelchair, have you seen that like come onto you exponentially as a more, has it impacted you greater?
Um, Resource wise, yes, only because there's not too many resources that are in. Oh, there go another plane. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Hey, if
Hold on.
now because of COVID is by maybe every um to your back to your question. What was your question again? Sorry, I'm just
No,
lost
I
my
was
train
just
of
saying,
thought.
as obviously being a person of color and also having like having spinal cord injury, have you felt that impact is greater on you? Like, have you felt it's been like a double, like almost like a double whammy in that essence?
Well, with that essence, yes. First things first. When people see you, their first assumption is, "Oh, what happened? Did you get shot?" Oh, I did not get shot. It was a car accident. First off, if you want to know, ask and let me go ahead and tell you. Don't go ahead and assume what.
Yeah. Lost you there again for a second. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oop. Good.
But I was pretty much
Yeah, you're
just
good.
saying
You're back.
that if people people would say, "Hey, okay, the first things first. If I'm in the car, you only see that I'm black. You don't see the wheelchair.
Hmm.
So then, if I get pulled over, okay, now I have to make sure that I follow the directions. But then I'm hoping that see my hand controls or uh, see maybe a reflection of light that's on my or my hand rim and think that it's maybe a gun or anything like that or something that I can reach back and grab. I
It's
mean,
just your
because
wheelchair.
we all know the hand control that was by the Monarch hand controls. A lot of us use that. I
Yeah,
mean,
I know those. Yeah, exactly.
just the handle is right there. It's it's hidden. So I mean, yeah, I have to make sure that hey, when I do get pulled over, I make sure that I cut off the engine and all, so then that way my hand is not on the brake to keep the car from moving. And then that way, all right, and then they'll ask for the it's been many times and all that and just say okay, yes, I do have a heavy hand. They'll say slow down, but then
A heavy
the
hand.
officers that I have come across with, most of them have been cool. Never they, they never said, hey, you know, how, and then explain it to them, and then they're like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Have you had any drinks tonight? And then
Just a lot of fruit
I
snacks.
show my license, and then they'll go ahead and they'll let me go. And
I knew it.
got
I
something
knew
for
it.
you.
So Mike Halpert asked
But
me, have
yeah,
you
I
ever been pulled
mean,
over and get kicked out of
yes.
the car? I know before you
Uh,
mentioned you had been, yeah. So just kind of my last kind of thing on here real quick.
yes.
I mean,
In college, I have. Go
I
ahead.
think I lost you. Yeah. So just last thing, I was gonna say it's kind of a bit of a loaded question a little bit, but I know people kind of keep asking of how they can help, what they can do to help. I know I keep asking myself, like, what is there to do to help? What's the best way? I mean, have you seen any productive ways or any positive ways for people to help?
Right now, what I appreciate is for individuals that don't know or are finally, how can I help? Uh, Also, just asking what is it that we can do to change, or want to actually listen to my experience and find out, okay, how things have actually gotten worse. We actually just want people to understand that, look, this, this is something that has been set in stone from the creation of the Constitution. And from that point forward, we need to make some changes. And we need your help, period. We can't do it alone. We need your help. I try to explain it to some individuals like, look, we have a hand, we have four fingers and a thumb. We can't knock someone out with just one finger. We need all four fingers and the thumb to come together and make a fist. Once you make a fist, your chances of knocking someone out is a whole lot better than you knocking them out with just your finger pointing.
That's a great analogy. Thanks, Damon. I appreciate that. It's
That,
honestly, it's really
that's the only analogy I can put on that, bro. I
no,
mean,
that's good.
just ask, how
Thank
can
you.
we help?
It's great. Thank you for being so honest with this. This is really means a lot to me to hear this. So thank you for doing that. I know I
Anytime.
appreciate it a lot. So kind of real quick before we get out of here, I know uh, outside of this, how you been staying active safely? I know you've been making some Costco runs and doing that. Why don't you tell the rest of the world what you've been up to?
Um,
You're thinking about that. Oh, these airplanes are just crushing your Wi-Fi. You have to talk to LAX about this. Oh, wait, you're back
um,
now. You're good. We got you. Of
okay. Sorry, another plane. That was a FedEx plane. Um,
course.
that you said, what have I been doing? Bro, I've actually been trying to do that because I'm mobile. Um, I do have my grandmother who I live with who had a stroke, so I am of course making sure that I don't want uh her to get sick or anything, and also with me, I don't want to get sick also. But I'm using the benefit of this wheelchair to go ahead and get different things. Also helping. I have them. I'm at Costco most of the time trying to find, like everyone else, some Clorox wipes or some cans of Lysol spray. And when I actually am able to get it, I get it. And because it comes in bulk, I can't give everybody a whole pack, or I'm not going to be able to help everybody. The best thing to do is go ahead and divide it and split it up. So, I mean, I got cans of Lysol that I know no one can actually find, but I go and make sure that a lot of quads or paras who are high paras that need it, that I get it to them. At least I try to help them out. Now,
So
if a
awesome.
pack all comes in, which four comes in a pack, I can help four people. I just give each one one. They got to use it sparingly, but I can do.
It's so good. Your Costco visits and stories and Instagram are the highlights of my week. So thank you for helping me get through
Oh,
COVID through your
hey,
Costco stories. I really appreciate that.
that and my fruit snacks, and of course, the older individuals who are outside in line, they actually laugh because they don't see other people in wheelchairs that are out there. I'm the only guy that's out there in a wheelchair, and I've shown them all kinds of things. It was like, wow, people actually go dancing. People actually go skiing. Yes, I showed them my bike. I was like, look, this is a $3,000 bike. You guys can go get a bike for a couple $100 and go for a ride. I
Exactly.
can't. And so I've been able to help educate some folks and things of that nature. So I'm trying to stay as positive as I can, and make sure that society changes their
Definitely.
outlook on how
So thank you for doing that, Damien. It's pretty amazing what you've been doing. I mean, obviously, 'cause you can't go in the hospitals, right? You can't do what you want to do for time. So it's cool you're out there helping the community doing it that way. So it's awesome from that standpoint. But I want to make one last note kind of before we get out of here. I know you were saying the barber shop's finally opened over there in LA. So I know you're trying to cautiously waiting to get into one. So when is that going to happen? When are you getting in? Let me see what you got going on under there.
bruh, bruh, bruh.
Woo!
I got curls. I got the curls for the girls, as my nephew would say. Oh, you got the curls for the girls. I'm waiting for my barber to go ahead and open up so I can get an appointment with him so I can get this cut off, man. But this hat is coming in handy.
I'm glad it's working for you. It's
It's
awesome.
coming in
So love to hear
handy.
that.
So I might have to. I got to get some more colors. What other colors you guys got?
I got a bunch of colors. I'm gonna hook you up with some good hats, so you can go around there until you get your haircut. You can sport it up differently. But when I come out there, you're gonna take me to your barber shop. Can we do something with this here? What do
Bruh,
you think?
he'll make you look like $100 million, million
Yeah, wait
bucks.
is way better than what's going on right now.
Hell yeah.
So, Damon, honestly, I can't thank you enough for coming on here, and I can't honestly thank you enough for all your honesty and everything you said. And not to make this about me, but I hope just listening to you and trying to do what I can is one step in the right direction, one step to making your fist
Right,
and making an impact. So I really do
man.
appreciate that.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you, Kelly, Zeke, Kelly Brush, the whole foundation. You guys been awesome. And can't wait till all this is over so we can really get together and go for a ride.
Definitely. We can't wait. We'd love to do that too. So, Damon, thanks again, man. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Everybody, stay
Yeah.
safe. Stay safe.
You be careful of those airplanes and your Wi Fi, all right? Be careful out there. Have a good one, Damon.
All right, man. You take care,
Bye.
Greg. Bye.
Take it easy. All right. Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. That was a really awesome episode. And again, I just can't thank Damon enough for being so honest and open about everything that's going on with him. And I know it was definitely a learning experience for me. So I'm really pumped to be able to hear that and see what we can do and try to make the smallest impact, if anything, to help out. So thanks, guys, again for listening. This is awesome. I love being on here with you guys. I will see you next week. And again, any questions for us, DM us. You want to see one on here, let us know. I'm happy to help. So guys, enjoy. Have a good weekend. Stay active. Have fun. Bye.